Good morning, and welcome to today's Tekcapital Plc webcast as part of the Planet MicroCap Showcase. Tekcapital trades on the A market on London Stock Exchange under ticker TEK and on the OTCQB under ticker TEKCF. It is now my pleasure to turn the floor over to your host, Dr. Clifford Gross of Tekcapital Plc.
Well, thank you very much. It's a great pleasure and an honor to be here this morning and to introduce you to Tekcapital. Tekcapital is focused on building valuable companies with university discoveries. In particular, we also provide technology transfer services to more than 250 universities and companies throughout the world. Our focus is on building a portfolio of companies around disruptive technologies that we're able to uncover from our university network, and bringing to these companies star power management that can help guide them through their milestones. We have a multi-year track record of significant growth of net assets and returns on invested capital, as well as profitability. Our most recent published financial results, which are the first half of 2020, showed that our net assets achieved a record level of approximately $26 million. We had total revenues for the first half of the year of $2.8 million and a pre-tax profit of $1.9 million. Our full year 2020 results should be out within the next few weeks. What's exciting about Tekcapital and what differentiates us and gives us a competitive advantage is that we've built what we believe to be the largest network of universities throughout the world. We have about 4,500 universities spanning 160 countries, and we connect with these universities electronically with our network, and we capture from them new discoveries that are made by these institutions that are available for sale or license in every area of science, medicine, and engineering. And then we select from these technologies particular inventions that we feel address unmet needs in the market that could make a positive impact on people's lives if commercially successful. We also provide our technology sourcing and assessment capabilities to leading universities and a number of marquee companies around the world. The majority of the focus of Tekcapital is growing our portfolio companies. We've established 4 portfolio companies over approximately the last 4 years, and each of these companies has what we view as compelling technology that, if successful, can make a positive difference in people's lives, capable star power management, and addresses totally addressable market sizes of over $1 billion currently. The first company we established was Belluscuiro. They're a respiratory medical device company. They recently have submitted their portable oxygen concentrator to the FDA for clearance back in December 2020. And last month they received clearance on that product, which is a very exciting milestone for them to achieve. We believe they have one of the most advanced portable oxygen concentrators in the world, and we'll get into that in a few moments. We own 22% currently of Belluscuiro. Solaris, which is Latin for salt, owns the patent process for producing the world's smallest edible salt crystals. These crystals are approximately 100 times smaller than table salt, and the benefit of being small is that they dissolve super quickly when they hit your tongue and produce a large sensation of saltiness. And this enables snack food companies and other food manufacturers to prepare products that not only taste good, but have roughly half the sodium. We own about 97% of Solaris. Lucid is a smart eyewear company, and in fact, it was the first eyewear company to introduce prescription glasses that were Bluetooth enabled. So with Lucid glasses, you not only can correct your vision, you can also remain connected to your digital life. You can take and make calls, listen to music, talk to Siri or Alexa, order an Uber, send cash through a cash app, do all the things you might want to do through apps on your smartphone directly hands-free through your glasses. We own 100% of Lucid. It's a very exciting company in a very large and fast-moving market. And not least by any means, Guidant. Guidant is making software that improves the safety of autonomous vehicles and autonomous delivery robots. Guidant's belief is that although intelligent autonomous vehicles will be safer than regular vehicles, there will still be mishaps and accidents. And at that time, you'll need to sort of virtually introduce the human touch to help resolve those situations. So Guidant is building a managed software service where fleet operators and vehicle operators could telemetrically connect their vehicles to a remote monitoring and control center that could jump in the event of an accident or a mishap. We currently own 100% of Guidant. So that is our portfolio as an overview. Our goal is to see that all of our portfolio companies are either sold or floated in the next 2 years. The first company is Belluscuiro. Belluscuiro makes respiratory devices. Their portable oxygen concentrator is primarily designed for patients with COPD. Currently, there are about 250 million people in the world with COPD, and a portion of them need supplemental oxygen to enable them to perform activities of daily living. What makes Belluscuiro's portable oxygen concentrator special in our mind is it's lightweight, it's quiet, it has all-day battery life, and perhaps most importantly, it's the first FDA-cleared portable oxygen concentrator that's modular. And that means the user can replace the filter cartridge. If you have COPD, and of course there's no cure for COPD, over time, as the disease progresses, you need more supplemental oxygen. So, for example, today you might need 3 liters per minute. In a year or two hence, you might need 4 or 5 or 6 liters per minute. Normally what this means is that you would have to buy a larger portable oxygen concentrator. But with the Belluscuiro device, that's no longer necessary. All you have to do, and the user can do it themselves, is you pop out the cartridge, and then you can replace the cartridge in the device with a higher capacity cartridge that filters out the nitrogen and allows you to have the 95% pure oxygen as supplemental oxygen. And so we think this is a game changer in the space. The market for portable oxygen concentrators is large and growing at pace, in part due to COVID, but also the cohort of 250 million individuals with COPD is also growing. So we're very excited about the future of Belluscuiro. We think they've done a wonderful job in developing this product. They have 18 patents covering the product, and we think they'll be in production this year, and they've announced that they are considering a flotation sometime this year. So we'll see if that happens, but we're very excited about the company and its future prospects. Lucid is in the business of making prescription and sunglasses and selling them online, but all of their products are Bluetooth enabled. And so they look like regular prescription glasses or regular designer sunglasses, but they are, in fact, enabled to connect to your smartphone. So you could do what you can do on your smartphone directly through your glasses. And this is a very handy feature to have, especially if you're outside doing activities like jogging or running or cycling. You don't have to take the phone out of your pocket to take and make calls and listen to music and talk to Siri or Alexa. You could do it right through the glasses. And it's also inherently safer because there are no earbuds in the ear canal, so you can maintain situational awareness while you're performing activities while wearing these glasses. And you could still, listen to the music while still being able to hear the traffic around you, which is very important. In the last 10 years, pedestrian fatalities are up, more than 50%, and a good part of them are due to both pedestrians and drivers alike being distracted on their smartphones. So we think this is a very useful product, and it's also a wonderful way to stay connected while protecting your vision. Lucid was very glad to announce that Richard Sherman has become the brand ambassador for the company. Richard Sherman's an NFL star, and he's an investor in the business, and he's a wonderful spokesperson for the company. Prior to being at Lucid, Richard Sherman was a brand ambassador for Beats, which was, as you probably know, acquired by Apple a number of years ago. The online eyewear market is very large, and Lucid hopes to earn a piece of that by providing a wide range of styles of Bluetooth-enabled glasses. And they believe that in the future, most prescription glasses and sunglasses will be Bluetooth-enabled smart glasses. The key selling feature for glasses is they have to obviously look good because you're putting them on your face. They have to be comfortable, and the major metric for comfort is weight. The Lucid light glasses weigh about 1¼ ounces. Typical glasses, traditional glasses, weigh about an ounce. So the Lucid glasses are light enough to be worn all day, which is important for prescription glasses. And the third variable for mass market adoption is price. To have Bluetooth-enabled glasses be worn globally, they have to look good, they have to be comfortable, and they have to be priced the same as regular glasses. And the Lucid Light glasses have an MSRP of $149, which places them actually in the lower end of the cost of regular glasses. So we think they have a winning formula, and they recently introduced this product in January of 2021, and it's being very well received. In fact, they sold out of a number of the variants of it, and they have had to reorder twice. They have more than 70% 5-star ratings on Amazon. And so we think they're off in the right direction, and we think over time they have the opportunity to win potentially a significant market share in the online prescription and sunglass markets. Solaris, which is Latin for salt, makes a low-sodium salt that's all natural, non-GMO, and kosher. And this salt is sodium chloride, just like traditional table salt, but the crystals are very, very small. And as it turns out, the smaller the crystal size, the faster they dissolve on your tongue, and the larger the sensation of saltiness in the brain. So by using this micronized salt, snack food companies can maintain the salty flavor of their snacks that consumers enjoy, but they can do it and still simultaneously reduce sodium consumption. This is important because the #1 cause of death in the world is cardiovascular disease. And about half of Americans have high blood pressure, same in the UK and many other countries. And the major contributive factor for high blood pressure, which leads to cardiovascular disease, is excess sodium consumption. And with Solaris's patented microsalt, they can enable snack food companies to make very good tasting snacks that are better for you, which is certainly on trend in the food industry. And so Solaris is seeking to build a B2B business of supplying microsalt to the major snack food companies of the world. They're in discussions now with about 24 major snack food companies, many of whom are seriously evaluating the product for incorporation in their snacks. As proof of concept, they also introduced their own line of potato chips using microsalt, low-sodium salt, called Salt Me. And the Salt Me potato chips have been on the market for about a half a year. They're available in stores throughout the U.S. and online on Amazon. Consumers really like them. About 72% of the comments on Amazon are 5-star ratings. And so we think they really have developed a practical solution that enables food companies to make better-for-you products with lower sodium. And if successful, we think they can make a dent in the cardiovascular disease occurrence rate globally. Another thing that Solaris is attempting to do later this year is introduce packets of microsalt. So just as you may use Splenda if you're interested in reducing your caloric consumption, you'll be able to use microsalt packets to reduce your sodium consumption. And I hope to have these packets in supermarkets and restaurants and convenience stores throughout the country by the end of the year. So they're on a very exciting trajectory. They're addressing a major global problem, and they have a unique patented solution. In addition to that, they have a wonderful team. On the board of Solaris is Eduardo Suchin. He was previously a brand manager for Pringles, the fourth largest snack food business in the world, owned by Kellogg's. Also on the board is Steve McCready. He was formerly product development director for Albertsons, the second largest supermarket chain in North America. Steve and his group were responsible for outsourcing all of the private labeled salty snacks for all 2,300 Albertsons supermarkets. And then heading up Solaris, we're delighted to have been able to add Victor Manzanilla as the CEO. Victor was previously at Procter & Gamble. He was a brand manager for the Febreze line. It's a multi-billion-dollar global brand, many of you know, as well as other jobs at Procter & Gamble. So we think they have an unusually good team with a lot of experience in making and selling food products globally in the billions of dollars a year. So we're very excited about the team and the mission of the company, and think they really do have an opportunity to make a dent in the low sodium market, which is north of $1 billion as we speak. Guidant is making software solutions to help improve the safety of autonomous vehicles and autonomous delivery drones, especially the last mile delivery robots that are ground-based. Everybody knows autonomous vehicles are coming, and they're coming in numbers. But the first use case for autonomous vehicles that people will start to see throughout the world this year will be the last mile delivery robots that will deliver food and pharmaceutical products and pizzas and other things from the stores to the consumers directly. And while these delivery robots are inherently safer than traditionally operated vehicles, there still will be mishaps, there still will be accidents. And when those mishaps or accidents occur, you need to basically drop in a human being to help resolve the situation. And so what Guidant is doing is they're building the first remote monitoring and control center for autonomous vehicles in the state of Florida, so that any autonomous vehicle manufacturer or fleet operator will be able to hook up telemetrically to this remote monitoring and control center. And if one of their vehicles gets into a scrape, the Guidant operator will be able to virtually drop themselves into the situation, look through the cameras on the vehicle, call a first responder if necessary, and even take over physical control of the vehicle if it's still operable, and move it off the road out of harm's way. So we think Guidant is potentially pioneering the managed service business in this space, and we think they'll be quite successful in doing so. In fact, last year in the state of Florida, Governor Ron DeSantis legalized the operation of autonomous vehicles throughout the state. But if the vehicles have no human operators, they're required by law to be able to hook up telemetrically to a remote monitoring and control center. So Guidant is building that first center to do remote monitoring and control in Boca Raton as we speak. They have proof of concept for the system, and they're seeking to scale it up this year and hopefully onboard some commercial customers in the latter part of this year. We're also very fortunate that Guidant has a tremendously experienced team for an early stage business, or really for any stage business. The business is run by Harold Braun. Harold was previously a CEO of Siemens Networks, and joining Harold on the board is Johan Denishin. Johan is currently the COO of Volkswagen North America, and previously he was Executive Vice President of General Motors and President of the Cadillac car company. And then joining Johan and Harold on the board is Daniel Grossman. Daniel was a Vice President at Zipcar before they were sold to Avis. And then he was hired by General Motors to run as COO their mobility business called Maven. And now Daniel is on the board of Guidant, and he's also Chief Revenue Officer. So we think the combination of this highly experienced management team, plus the patented technology, Guidant has 7 patents, plus the very capable and somewhat gifted, we think, technical development team, Guidant has the opportunity to really make a difference in the safe rollout of autonomous vehicles. Tekcapital has a small board, but most notably we have on the board Robert Miller, who was former vice chair of the Mayo Clinic. He's a radiation oncologist now at the University of Tennessee at Knoxville. We also have Lord Willits on the board. He was a former member of Parliament in the UK and director of universities and sciences for the United Kingdom. And he was also president of the British Science Association. And we have Louis Castro, who's an investment banker and chartered accountant and a non-executive director of a number of listed companies. So it's a small board, but with a good range of skills. So in summary, Tekcapital commercializes university intellectual property excuse me, for its own portfolio and as a service to over 250 universities and customers around the world. We've built a high-value portfolio of 4 companies, Belluscuiro, Lucid, Solaris, and Guidant, all of which have exciting near-term potential growth prospects in our view, and all of which we hope will be either sold or listed within the next 2 years. And we have a multi-year track record of delivering significant growth of net assets, returns on invested capital, and profitability. I thank you very much for taking the time to hear our presentation, and I'm looking forward to getting some good questions.
Our first question is regarding Guidant. There's been a number of high-profile deals in the AV space, including between GM and Microsoft. When might Guidant be ready to enter this tier of deal making?
We think Guidant is on track to deliver the first operable remote monitoring and control system with a sort of ubiquitous interface that would allow any vehicle manufacturer or fleet operator to hook up their vehicles this year. If they are able to successfully achieve that very important milestone, we think they could be on track in Q1 of 2022, or perhaps later in 2022, to be able to develop meaningful strategic alliances with major first-tier automotive manufacturers or autonomous vehicle manufacturers or fleet operators.
Our next question, which of your portfolio companies offers the most upside in your view?
It's tough to answer that. It's like saying, which of your children do you prefer? I mean, what they have in common is this. They all address unmet needs in the market. They all have proprietary intellectual property that we think is valuable and important. They all have star power management, and they all have a total addressable markets of over $1 billion currently. So that was our screen, in fact, to form them in the first place. And they've made, even though they're young businesses, the oldest is Belluscuiro, which is just over 4 years old. The others are only operable for the last 24 months, but they've made it, in our view, enormous strides for early-stage businesses. So we think, to answer your question directly, we think they all have the opportunity to make a dent in $1 billion-plus market.
Great. I think we're right at the mark.
Well, thank you very much for your time and interest. And should you have any further questions in the future, feel free to reach out to us. You can find us on the web at tekcapital.com, TEKCAPITAL.com. Thank you again.
Thank you. This does conclude today's webcast, and thank you for your participation, and have a wonderful day.